goes Jermaine Defoe all the way.
Kane goes for what a goal from Harry Kane!
Every football club has banter. Some clubs have embarrassing seasons. Some clubs have traumatic years that rival fans never let them forget. But Tottenham Hotspur, they have something rarer. It's like an aura. It's not a winning aura. It's not a dominant aura. It's a comedic inevitability aura. So what is this? Well, when something strange, awkward, or painfully ironic happens in football, somehow, some way, Tottenham are usually involved. I need to make this very clear. This isn't about hating Spurs. It's about explaining why Spurs are objectively the funniest big club in England. The fact that the word Spursy exists tells you everything you need to know. This was not invented by rivals. This was not based on one bad season or one bad moment. It was created because the same thing keeps happening. Hope builds, momentum forms, expectation rises. Then something happens. And when failure becomes predictable, it stops being tragedy. It becomes slapstick. And this is the key difference between Spurs banter and every other club's banter. As you guys know, I'm a huge Arsenal fan. So let's compare Spurs with Arsenal, recent history, long-term history, and let's have a laugh. So for example, Arsenal get bantered when, let's say, a young, inexperienced team collapses or a title race slips away or this so-called process, this project stalls a little bit. I would say that's quite normal football pain. You know, a lot of clubs will go through something similar. Let's talk about Spurs banter next. The timing is always horrific. The optics are always wrong, and the chaos is usually self-inflicted. It seems to always be harming themselves, doing things to themselves, and it's the gift that just keeps on giving, really. Let's go back to 2006. I will never forget this. It's the final day of the season. Champions League qualification is on the line. They had one job left to do, and then Spurs players get sick. Food poisoning before the match. There are rumours that there might have been some foul play, but allegedly, those are just rumours, okay? This has to be one of the most Spursy things ever, realistically, until what happened recently, and I'll be talking about that later on in this video. But this is just so Spursy because other clubs lose on the pitch. Spurs lost to pasta. They lost European qualification to pasta. Spursy. And by the way, that wasn't just football banter. That was the football universe looking at Tottenham and saying, you're not going to get qualification, not because of this, but because of this. Definitely because of this. This is hilarious. Food poisoning, dodgy pasta, nice. And from that moment on, I've got to say, in my lifetime, Spurs just haven't been the same. Fast forward to 2021. Jose Mourinho. Yes, Jose Mourinho is the manager of Tottenham Football Club. I couldn't believe it. I was worried. I actually thought he's going to bring something very special to the club that they haven't had before. He's a serial winner. They reach a cup final, and it's a real chance to finally end a very, very long trophy drought. And then they sack him 6 days before the final. What are you thinking? It's the most Spursy thing they could have done. Why? 6 days. Imagine paying for a taxi to Wembley and the driver gets fired at the traffic lights. This wasn't bad luck. This was sabotage. They completely sabotaged themselves. Why? Why would you do that? There must have been things going on behind the scenes that we don't know of. But why would you sack your manager? You're finally in a final, 6 days to go. It's just, oh my God. It was Tottenham choosing to be Spursy. It was Tottenham choosing chaos. Why? Okay, now we reach a modern masterpiece. This only happened yesterday. I cannot believe my eyes when I open up social media. So just get this. Tottenham arrive at Bournemouth. It's pre-match. Cameras are rolling. Thomas Frank, a brand new manager. He's only been in the job for a couple of months. He's holding a cup. Not any cup. Okay, not any just run-of-the-mill cup that you pick up at a cafeteria somewhere. Out of all of the cups, out of all of the logos, in all of the timelines, this happened to Spurs because it was meant to happen. The cup had an Arsenal badge on it. Thomas Frank, Tottenham manager, drinking from a cup with an Arsenal badge on it, live in front of all the cameras, in front of everyone at the stadium. It is a monumental moment for Tottenham fans. Wow. Incredible. If this happens at Chelsea, yeah, it's awkward. If it happens at Manchester United, it's kind of embarrassing. If it happens at Arsenal and maybe, I don't know, Arteta was holding a Chelsea cup, it's a bit embarrassing. But you kind of just laugh and move on a little bit. Clearly it's a mistake. But with Spurs, with Thomas Frank, it just felt inevitable. It had to be Spurs. It had to be Thomas Frank. It was as if the football universe was just ticking a box. Yep, do it to Tottenham. Yep, go on, do it. That tracks. Nice. This wasn't just a mistake. This doesn't just happen, okay? This was the Spurs comedic aura manifesting. And it's a visual metaphor for the entire club. It's the wrong symbol at the wrong moment. Maximum banter. Tottenham don't even need rivals to mock them anymore. Reality does it for them. Okay, so what is the most Tottenham thing about Tottenham? I think it's when something finally goes right. Something's going well. And then it just catastrophically fails. There's always an aftertaste. There's always something hilarious right around the corner, even when they're doing something great. For example, last season, winning the Europa League, beating Manchester United in the final. They lift a trophy, and it's one that many clubs haven't won before. Even as an Arsenal fan, I saw that and thought, that kind of hurts. But at the same time, almost getting relegated. And now this season, after that incredible moment, they sacked their manager, bring in a new manager, and now this happens. And now they're struggling again, and they could easily be pulled into another relegation battle. It's the most Tottenham thing ever. Their momentum just never lasts. Success always comes with a plot twist. Winning doesn't end the madness, it just unlocks a new episode. Just think about the recent golden eras of Tottenham Football Club, when they were actually doing very well. The eras with Bale, Modric, Dele Alli coming through and looking like he could be the next big thing. They've had some world-class players, elite managers, multiple quote-unquote new eras. At some point, the drought stops being a stat. It becomes a trait, a personality trait of the club. Tottenham don't rebuild, they reboot. Every manager arrives with, this time it's different. Oh yeah, we'll change things up. I'm going to bring something new and we're going to fight. We're going to win. And then the same thing happens. They're gone with nothing. The only manager to, I think, at least somewhat be able to walk away from their job at Tottenham after being sacked with their head held high is Ange Postecoglou. And whilst they won the Europa League, as I said, he also managed to get them down into 17th place, which is incredible. 17th in the Premier League for Tottenham? Nah, unbelievable. So here's my conclusion. This isn't about hating Spurs fans, by the way. They're loyal, they're passionate. They've suffered enough. Tottenham are a serious club, but somewhere along the way, football decided, yeah, this club, this one's going to be funny. We're gonna throw lots of comedic things their way. Those poor fans, they're just gonna have to suck it up. Whilst other clubs have banter eras, you think of Arsenal going through many unsuccessful years after building the Emirates Stadium. You think of Chelsea's drop-off not long ago when they were finishing, I think they finished 8th or 13th after winning the league or something like that. There are many banter eras happening all around the Premier League to other big clubs. But with Spurs, it's different. It is different. And this recent Thomas Frank holding an Arsenal Cup sums it up.